Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Kate Dorsey. I am so excited to be talking to you today about fear. So I want you to just take a moment and to consider, have you ever let fear stop you? Have you ever been so scared of something? Hey, Renee, I miss you. I hope you're doing good. Have you ever been so scared of something that you let it stop you? And I want you to think about what it would be like if you were able to do the thing that's been standing in your way. If you're able to overcome it, to get past it. So, hi, Catherine. So that you're no longer allowing it to hold you back. So there are a few steps that I've used that are incredibly helpful. I'm going to share those with you today. There are a lot of ways to overcome fear, and I'm just going to break down a recent example for you. So for those of you that do know me, hey, Shirley, you know I am freaking terrified. I mean, terrified of heights. Hey, Linda. And so I want to share with you, I had an opportunity. Oh, my screen door is going to bang. Okay, it stopped. I want to share with you an opportunity that I had. So I had this really incredible chance to go parasailing over Torrey Pines. And Torrey Pines is absolutely beautiful. And I was scared shitless, like so scared. I mean, I'm the kind of person who, oh, church bells, here we come, who can't ride up a glass elevator because she gets scared. And I still do because whatever the steps that I'm going to walk you through today are really helpful in terms of overcoming that fear so that you can do it. The end result for me was that I did go parasailing, and it was an amazing experience. Hey, Judy, so good to see you. And I want to share with you what helped me. Hey, Diana, I bet your baby girl is almost here. So the very first thing that I used is, what do I want? So I connected with, why was I out there? What was it about this, hey, Margaret, this parasailing experience that I was about to have that was really important to me? So I connected with, what did I want? So I wanted to go parasailing, hey Judy, off of the cliffs at Torrey Pines. When the guy told me, he was like, so I'm going to need you to run off this cliff. I was like, hold up, what? You need me to do what? So I can't just not be present. So I really had to employ these steps. So I connected with, what did I want? Which was, hey Andy, to go parasailing. And then I dug into the why. Why did I want to do that? What was it about this experience that was going to be so amazing for me? Hey, Jared. The why was ultimately super important because it was just something that I needed to get so crystal clear on. What was my why? My why was my motivation. And that's what your why is when it comes to overcoming fear. Your why is motivation that is going to encourage you to take the steps forward, even when you're scared. And then I got connected with, how would it feel if I didn't do it? So here I was standing on the cliffs of Torrey Pines, which if anyone's been to Torrey Pines, it's so beautiful. And I was really clear on how disappointed I would feel, that I would feel like I had let myself down. And so that was really good for me to realize it. So again, the steps are, what do you want? Why do you want that? And what will it feel like if you don't actually do that? Has anyone had an experience where they were really scared? Type in the comments below if you have. I'd love to hear it so we can discuss that a little bit more. So then I'm going to go into what is ultimately super important when it comes into fear. And this is your breath. So a lot of us, when we're looking to overcome fear, we breathe here. So we're breathing in. And if you don't know this, if you just chest breathe, you're going to hyperventilate. You're already anxious, and now you're only breathing to right here, you are for sure going to freak out more because you're not actually getting breath all the way in. So lucky for me, Judy was actually with me that day, and we were able to breathe together, which was incredibly helpful because if you've got support, hey Brian, if you've got support, that can be phenomenal. So what you're really doing is you're making sure, I'm going to back up, that you're, okay, I'm backing really, never mind, that you're breathing all the way into here. So you want to put your hand over your belly and feel your breath. Take a really, you can't see this, feel a really big breath in. Feel your belly poke out and release. So as you breathe that way, you're actually activating the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is your relaxation response. So it's super important to do this. Given that it's your relaxation response, it's not going to like activate right away. So you really want to like take some time, like I mean like a couple minutes worth of breathing into your belly, and like get really grounded in your body and like really feel your belly expand with each in-breath and then with each out-breath. And it can also be really helpful to count. So like 4 counts in, you can hold it for 4 counts and then breathe it out for 4 counts. Really focus on that exhale, because that exhale is where the relaxation response really kicks off. So again, you're not necessarily going to do this super fast. So you want to give yourself enough time to recognize. So like when he was like run off the cliff, I was like, what? I don't know about that. I'm going to go ahead and go start breathing now because I am freaking out. And the more we kind of like go into the language of like, I'm freaking out, guess what you're building? You're building the fear. So you got to think about, do I want to build fear, or do I want to build what I'm actually excited for? So that's why the 3 components I talked to you about just a little bit earlier, what do you want, why, and how will it feel not to have that, can be really key there. So if I'm connected to what do I want, and what's this experience going to be like for me as I glide over the cliffs, it's going to be phenomenal, amazing. I'm going to have a view like I've never had before. And that's a really key component in shifting the energy of what you're experiencing. Because like if you're containing the fear and you're locking it down, it doesn't feel good. So has anybody used breath before? Has anyone heard that breathing exercise? Has anyone been really scared and started to shift into how they breathe? Hey, Robert. That can be really helpful. In fact, I would say it's crucial. And then the final step, you just do it. How important is it to you? And do it anyway. So that's really important. Linda, what happened for you? Like, what was something that you experienced that with, where you were like scared and feeling shut down, and then you started to use the breathing? Like, did that help you? Did you notice a shift? Did you notice that you were able to like let it go and move forward? Yes, Catherine, absolutely. Yoga is fantastic. You will for sure practice breathing like that. And breathing like that can translate outside of yoga. It's like a lot of times we don't think about that. We take breathing for granted. Every single day, our body just breathes for us all the time. And ultimately, like, you really want to know that like what you're doing is like, get aware of it. How you're breathing matters. Like, do you just breathe to here? Or are you breathing like all the way down? Because the more you breathe down into your belly, the more relaxed you're going to feel. Think about like a work deadline, a product. Hey, Felicia, hi, my cousin. I miss you. As you breathe more into your belly more frequently, the more relaxed you will feel. What does Linda say? Okay, Linda says, in my business, yes, once I took the breath, I was able to get back into the difference I wanted to make. Yes, Linda, that's so powerful, because ultimately, like, there's a calming response that happens, and we have to allow enough time to calm down. So you want to take like the practices that we're being taught in like yoga and move it into like everyday life. So what is it like to take a really big, deep belly breath in, multiple belly breaths in, and noticing how you relax, how you calm down, how you're able to like release the tension and focus on what actually needs to happen. Oh, hi, Avery. I hope you're doing well. So the steps are recognizing what do you want, the why behind that, which is super important, what it will feel like if you don't reach it. And this is not, by the way, this step right here is not the place to begin beating yourself up over. It's just about encouraging the motivation. Sometimes we need to look at the reverse too. So we want to look at the why and then the reverse of that, so that we're more encouraged to keep doing it. And then we want to belly breathe. So breathing all the way in, 4 counts in, hold it for 4 counts, release it for 4 counts. Really focus on that out breath. The out breath is the key to the relaxation response. Be sure you feel your belly expand. Hi, Karen. And then do it. Ultimately, you got to do it, right? So like, we can think about it, we can marinate on it, but you've got all these resources, and now we need to execute. What does Brian say? Trying to fall asleep at night I often notice that my mind is racing. I have to focus on my breathing to calm myself down and actually fall asleep. Deep in, slow out is the trick. Yes, absolutely, Brian. It's so key. As you do that, like, you're literally activating your parasympathetic nervous system. And as your parasympathetic nervous system is activated, the relaxation response occurs within your body, and now we can calm down. A lot of us have that too. So like when we're switching from task to task, or if we've got like major deadlines going on or things happening, we have a lot of stress. And so you would think like, oh, I'm tired and my head hits the pillow, I can fall asleep. Not really. That's why like sometimes when I'm stressed, I'll do meditations in the evening, just because I'm like, oh. And a lot of times with meditation, you're focusing on your breath. And as you're focusing on your breath, you're able to relax and let go and nicely fall asleep. Hey, Giselle. Okay, so the steps again, just so that you've got them all succinctly, is what do you want? Why? Get really clear on that why. How will it feel? Don't beat yourself up here. Breathe into your belly. And like, I mean, sometimes like I've got a Fitbit, which is awesome, and I can like set a timer on it. And so instead of, it's like when you're freaking out, time really kind of feels like it's like slowed down. And you're like, oh, we're not there yet. We haven't done this yet. So you want to like set that so it can really help you be able to shift your focus onto like the actual breathing. And then the breathing is 4 counts in, hold it for 4 counts, and release it for 4 counts, and into your belly, feeling your belly expand with each breath. And like, it's a very rhythmic, relaxing process. Even your phone timer could be helpful so that you're like, oh. And then do it, ultimately execute on it. So for me, in this circumstance, what ended up happening was I got to go parasailing, and it was amazing and so beautiful. And I'm not going to pretend that I didn't have to like tune back into my breath. Like, I've got a real fear of heights. So like we would shoot up a wind tunnel. Okay, that sounds so dramatic. It was like just kind of like gentle. But like we would shoot up that. Okay, again, so dramatic. We would go up it, and I would be like, oh, and I would remember. So like as I'm like, I'm not, like, you can even hear it. Like, it's like the breath is stuck right here. And it's like, bring it down. Bring it all the way down. Focus back on that. And I can tell you that experience was amazing. I am so thankful I went. Had I not gone, I would have missed out on the most phenomenal views as I soared up in the sky. I even got to go with a falcon, which, like, how cool is that? Like, the bird would, like, was holding out a stick. That was the funny part. They were like, run off this cliff and hold this stick. And I was like, okay, first off, you want me to run off a cliff, and now I have to focus on holding a stick exactly out. I'm like, guys, like, really? I'm like, I'm trying to be okay right now. I have a total fear of heights. So again, what do you want? Why? How will it feel not to do it? You're breathing, and then do it. Do it. Because if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. Like, that's the truth. So you're either going to go for it or you're not. And how's it going to feel to drive away, for me in this case, from Torrey Pines and having not done that? Like, why would I ever want to do that to myself? So you really want to do it. Nike was right. Just do it. The most phenomenal ad campaign I think I've like ever heard, aside from Verizon's "Can You Hear Me Now?" because that one's also fantastic. Like, who doesn't start a telephone conversation with "Can you hear me now?" Because I always do. I'm always like, oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, hey, Erin. So those are the steps that I use to overcome fear. Like I said, there are a lot of different ways to overcome fear. This just happens to be the one that I used most recently, and I have a ton of other ones. So let me know if you liked this one. Hearts and likes or comments. If you like this, if you want me to talk more about fear and how to overcome it, there are a lot of different tools and techniques that can be really helpful. Hey, Kelly. And I hope that, hey, Joey, I hope that was like my Miss America wave. I hope this was helpful. I can tell you it does work. And so what's something that you would like to face? What's something that fear is standing in the way of for you that's really important for you to overcome? And what will it feel like when you overcome it? What will it feel like when you're soaring above the clouds, getting to experience an amazing view? Or what will it feel like if you stop letting fear hold you back from getting on a stage, or from going to a networking event, or meeting new people? or I could keep going. But I'm going to stop there. So I hope this was super helpful. I'm so thankful for everyone who got to join. Much love to you guys. Bye.